Hello, YouTube! It's your boy, Vito! And I'm here with another one of my famous movie reviews. Now you're probably looking at me and thinking I'm gonna review the #1 movie in America. Wrong! Dead wrong! I'm gonna review a movie only I care about. Anime weeb garbage made for little boys like me. I'm going to review Alita! Battle Angel!
Battle Angel Alita is my favorite manga series of all time. A dark cyberpunk universe filled with deadly cyborg bounty hunters, intense martial arts battles, and complicated psychological themes that I couldn't really find good footage of, so let's just watch a guy explode. Nice. That's why I was very excited when in 2004, James Cameron announced he was working on a film adaptation.
We're in pre-production right now on a project called Battle Angel, which is something I've been working on for several years, and we're finishing up the shooting draft right now. We've been designing it. It's a big science fiction film.
I mean, this was the man who made Terminator, another legendary story about a dystopian techno-future and the complex relationship between man and machine. To have him directing Alita sounded like a slam dunk. And if I know anything about sports ball, slam dunks are good. Cameron seemed enthusiastic and promised he would get to work on his adaptation just as soon as he was done with another project. Some weird nonsense about blue-skinned alien people on a magic Pocahontas adventure. Oh God, what is this? Oh God, make it stop! No! Now, after the release of Avatar, Alita fans like me got some bad news. See, Avatar was very successful. Like, top-grossing movie of all time successful.
Avatar has done what no other film could do in the past 12 years, topping $1.8 billion worldwide.
So it turned out that rather than jump into directing Alita, Cameron was already hard at work on an Avatar sequel. Okay, we said, well, we've waited this long for an Alita movie. I guess we can wait a little bit longer. Oh, okay, he's also gonna make an Avatar 3? Okay, well, we can keep... And an Avatar 4. Okay, wait, 5? They're making 5 f***ing Avatar movies? Cameron, you son of a... Now, most of us Alita fans just assumed the movie adaptation was dead in the water, until almost a decade later, when we found out it was actually moving into production. We found out that Cameron wouldn't be directing, but he would be the executive producer. Well, that could be fine as long as he lines up a solid sci-fi director, someone like Joss Whedon, Neil Blomkamp, J.J. Abrams. Just don't let him touch the script. But Cameron said, nah, f*** those guys. Let's get the director of Spy Kids 4D. What the f***? Cameron, you gave the movie to Rob Rod? Are you high? Look, I know he directed Sin City, which showed how to turn a black and white comic book into a movie, but he also directed Sin City 2, which was f***ing terrible. So, whatever. Anyway, I managed to stomach my fears about Rob Rod potentially steering this franchise off a cliff and got myself in full Alita hype mode. I purchased my limited edition Alita iced tea. I went to the Alita puzzle room experience with Jenny Nicholson, who still refuses to talk to Jenny. Talk to me. I'm not a bad person. I swear, whatever. And I bought my ticket to the exclusive fan preview screening, which was jam-packed with myself and about 8 other people. This movie did not sell a lot of tickets. And so, what is my review of this movie that I have patiently waited over a decade for? It's decent. I'll give it a solid B. B-. Okay, thanks for watching my review. Don't forget to like and share on the blogosphere. Check out our exclusive webisodes for Snapchat. Just kidding. Look, there's a lot I like about this movie, okay? It's definitely the best anime adaptation Hollywood's ever given us. Though obviously, that is a very low bar to clear. I also have to give credit to Rosa Salazar's fantastic performance as Alita, and a special nod to Robert Rodriguez for finding a way for Alita to decapitate a woman and still get a PG-13 rating. Good work, buddy. And of course, I have to be realistic. Obviously, taking a 30-year-old hyper-violent comic book written for Japanese businessmen and adapting it into an all-ages Hollywood blockbuster was going to result in some major creative changes. That being said, I can't help but feel a bit disappointed to see some of the strange creative decisions that were made. transforming one of the greatest science fiction stories of all time into an above-average superhero movie. There's so many reasons this movie stumbles for me, but I'm gonna try and focus on what I think are the biggest and dumbest problems with Alita: Battle Angel. Let's get into it. Number 1. Iron City looks like Margaritaville. Alita: Battle Angel is set in Iron City, a harsh post-apocalyptic metropolis where the strong prey on the weak. Or at least that's how Hugo puts it.
It's a harsh world. The strong prey on the weak down here.
Yeah, it's a harsh world, all right. That's why everybody spends their days rollerblading, going to fun street cafes, playing steel guitar, shopping for gourds. These people are truly living in hell. No, they aren't. This looks fun. This is the most fun place to live ever. It's a vibrant, colorful community. In the manga, Iron City is a violent cyberpunk slum. You get the feeling that every time you go outside, there's a 20% chance some psychopath cyborg is gonna snatch you up and feed on your brains. In the movie, everybody looks like they're about to invite me to a fun dockside margarita party. Look at these outfits. Everything's so clean. It's a struggle to survive down here. Thank God we've got Tide Ultra Clean.
It's got to be Tide.
Now maybe this sounds like I'm nitpicking. My longtime nemesis Tim Rogers from Kotaku sure thinks so.
Do you like Kotaku.com?
I love it. He writes, one of my dumb friends, that's me, was saying on Facebook how he hated how happy everyone looked in the dystopia. I just appreciated how different and colorful it was from other stereotypical dystopias. It reminded me of Final Fantasy 15. Well, Tim, Final Fantasy 15 f***ing sucks, as does the set and costume design of this movie. Because here's the thing, one of the major plot elements of the movie is this idea that Iron City is so f***ing awful that you'd resort to kidnapping and dismembering people just to escape. Hugo's desperate struggle to make it to Zalem makes a lot more sense in the original, where we see that he lives in squalor in this horrible hobo shack surrounded by old crippled alcoholics. But in the movie, he's got a sick studio apartment at the heart of a vibrant city center. I've lived in shittier apartments than this. Why does Hugo want to leave Iron City? He's got a sick place, a cool motorcycle, and a hot robot girlfriend. You're living the dream, buddy. I'd say you're trying to follow in the footsteps of your deceased brother, but oh shit, they deleted that entire plot point from your character. You have no motivation to want to leave. Call me old-fashioned, but I went into this movie hoping for a classic Blade Runner-style future dystopia. What I got was a bunch of cargo shorts and flip-flops. No, sir, I don't like it. Number 2, Doc Ito is a weird dad. Ito is one of my favorite characters from the original manga, a troubled man torn between two lives, that of a benevolent doctor and that of a ruthless hunter-warrior. That's why I thought Christoph Waltz was a perfect casting choice. A man known for his masterful portrayals of charismatic men hiding a strange darkness within them. Unfortunately, the movie version of Ito is completely missing that darkness. In fact, he's more like a stereotypical sitcom dad, one who just happens to kill people with a giant rocket hammer.
If you wreck this body, I can't fix it. This is earned technology.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna find a place to watch because you're making me nervous.
See, in the manga we learn that Ito hunts for mostly selfish reasons, not for money or honor, but because he craves the thrill of the hunt, the ecstasy of a good kill. Honestly, he's not exactly right in the head. He just loves killing. But the movie gives him an alternate reason for becoming a hunter-warrior, a slightly too convenient story about him getting revenge on the drug-crazed motorballer who killed his adorable crippled daughter. Never an ugly kid in the backstory, is it? It's always some perfect little white girl with her broken legs. Daddy, I can't wait to have legs. I love you, Daddy. Oh, no. Oh, I'm dead. Oh. Now, while this might give the audience a more clear explanation for exactly why Ito became a hunter, it's far less compelling. Like most of the other creative changes in the film, it feels like Cameron and Rodriguez are trying to strip away anything even slightly resembling moral ambiguity, so they can present us with a clean and simple tale of good guys fighting bad guys. Since Ito is supposed to be one of the good guys, I guess it's too complicated to also have him be a bloodthirsty weirdo. James Cameron has actually said many times that he thinks the manga's most intriguing theme is the father-daughter relationship between Ito and Alita, which is an interesting part of the series, sure, but I think he didn't pay close attention to or purposefully ignored the many complexities of that relationship. In the manga, Ito is not some perfect magic dad. There's shades of gray. Yes, he's a loving father figure, but he's also a weirdly obsessive creepoid who had to learn that Alita was not his doll to control. I think what's most hilarious about all this, though, is that though the movie tries to get rid of all of Ito's creepiness, it then has him do what is probably the creepiest thing ever, by giving Alita his dead daughter's name and leftover body parts.
You built this body for her.
Her name was Alita.
The movie tries to make this seem sentimental. It's not. It's insane. Who does this? Okay, if your kid dies, you don't adopt a new kid and treat them like a replacement for the dead one. Hello, new parents. My name is Jimmy.
No, it isn't! Your name is Bradley, too! And time will tell if you are able to live up to the spirit of Bradley 1. Now go put on this wig we made out of his hair!
I'm sorry, man, but naming Alita after his dead kid is way creepier than anything Ito ever did in the manga. What on earth were you thinking? Number 3. Too much motorball. Alright, now it honestly feels like sacrilege to say this, but I really don't think motorball should have been in this movie.
You can't do Alita without motorball. It's just a law. I think it's a state law.
Yes, motorball is awesome, and it makes for some very cool action sequences. But unfortunately, it doesn't really add anything to the plot. And the huge chunks of movie time devoted to exploring this futuristic roller derby would have been much better spent fleshing out the world of Iron City. Most specifically, the world of the Hunter Warriors. Now, it's supposed to be a major storyline moment when Alita makes the decision to register as a Hunter Warrior.
State your business.
I'm here to register as a Hunter Warrior.
But in the movie, this scene seems almost pointless, considering Alita never once goes bounty hunting after she registers. Like, why did she even sign up? Just so she could go to the bar? Seriously, there is no bounty hunting in this movie about cyborg bounty hunters. And then they cock tease us with this little part where you think she's gonna go bounty hunting to raise money for her stupid boyfriend.
How much more do you need before you can go?
90K?
I can make that in bounties. I'll just figure out who has the highest prices on their heads and then I'll take them out.
No, I can't ask you to do that for me.
No, it's her job. She wants to go kill people. Let her do it. Why, you have a better solution for how to raise money?
Vector wants you to try out for second lane.
Oh good, she's gonna play motorball. I'm so glad that there will be a third motorball sequence in this movie. Thank God. Now, I hate to play armchair scriptwriter, but let's imagine there was a scene in the movie where Alita and Ito go bounty hunting together. And to add some drama to it, let's say they find the target and learn that the target has a family. He has a young son. This would be the moment our idealistic young heroine learns the reality of being a hunter warrior. Ito could explain to her the hunter's code, and as she makes the kill, she would finally begin to understand the cold reality of her new profession. Okay, wait. No, okay, that's a scene from Django Unchained. So the same actor also. Okay, so not exactly that, but imagine a scene where they do explore what it means to be a hunter warrior, this idea of this hunter's code, putting aside your emotions and coldly performing your duty no matter what. Because without that scene, this later moment with Hugo, it makes no sense.
Interference between a licensed hunter warrior and his kill is a violation of factory law and the hunter's code.
He's mine!
Then make the kill.
Not once has she shown any sort of allegiance to this supposed code. And we're supposed to believe there's a chance she's gonna kill her boyfriend because of some code for hunters, which she barely is.
You know there's no room for love or mercy in the hunter's code.
She doesn't hunt. Why does she care? Again, this is Cameron and Rob Rod trying to strip all the moral ambiguity out of this movie. They want Alita to be a stock, inspirational female character.
She represents, I think, a certain kind of female empowerment that we need.
And that can be a messy thing to communicate when that same character lops people's heads off for money. I get it, but I really still wish they had found a way to make it work, to show Alita as a hunter warrior instead of just taking the lazy way out and focusing almost entirely on Motorball. Yes, those scenes were really cool, but if you were planning on this being a franchise, you could have saved it for the sequel. Number 4, the final champion. Now, in the manga, the rules about Zalem are very clear. Nobody goes there, except as a pile of body parts. And the movie has the same rule.
If you're born on the ground, you stay on the ground, and no amount of money can change that.
Except for one insanely stupid exception.
The only one way to get from the lower world to Zalem is to become final champion.
What the heck? Why? Zalem's supposed to be a cold dictatorship which barely considers the surface dwellers anything more than slave labor. But in this movie, they're apparently super interested in people with the ability to race really quickly around a track on laser skates and jam a ball in a hoop. I mean, really, it just doesn't make any sense. This is like if you ran a totalitarian state, completely cut off from the rest of the world, but then started letting in random basketball stars. Shit, that actually happened. Okay. Maybe it does make perfect sense. Whatever. Point is, this seems like a really lazy way to try and set up the sequel, where I assume Alita's gonna get really good at Motorball, defeat Jai Courtney in the big Motorball race, and win herself a golden ticket to Zalem. You know, because we didn't get enough Motorball in this first movie. But seriously, don't you think you'd change up the rules if the final champion was a dangerous cyborg terrorist, basically sworn to destroy your leader? Sir, it looks like Alita is competing in the Motorball Championship. If she wins, she's gonna come here and kill everybody. So maybe we could change the rules so the final champion doesn't get to come to Zalem? I'm sorry, those are the rules. Final champion gets to come to Zalem. You can't change it now. Okay, sure. But maybe we could come up with a different way to prevent this. For instance, didn't she destroy like a dozen of our law enforcement robots and the Hunter Warrior Registry building? Isn't gross destruction of government property a capital offense? Like, why don't we just put a bounty on her head? Why are we even— Shut up! You shut up right now, okay? Final champion gets to go to Zalem. Those are the rules, okay? Prepare the turbo lift, and God help us all. Number 5, Nova in the Machine. Now, while there's a couple different people I could blame for this movie's various shortcomings, there's one name I keep coming back to. Edward Norton. I mean Dusty Nova. So, it's not Edward Norton's fault. It's his character. Now, the movie version of Nova is wildly different from his manga counterpart. In the manga, Nova is actually an outcast from Zalem, similar to Ito. And in fact, an entire arc of the manga involves Alita working for Zalem to hunt Nova down. But in the movie, Nova is not only still living in Zalem, but there are strong suggestions that he's actually its leader, or at least someone high enough up the food chain that he was the primary target of the invading Martian armies.
Nova?
He is the dragon that must be slain.
That's okay. Why? Again, it's dumbed down screenwriting. The audience is too dumb to understand that the evil city and the evil scientist might be operating independently of each other. So we better make the evil scientist the leader of the evil city so the soft brains in the audience don't get confused and pee their pants. Also, the stupid-ass audience might get confused about who's working for who, so let's just make it so that all the other villains in the movie are Nova's puppet slaves.
Nova.
That's a good way to establish meaningful villains. Let me know that they don't have free will. This is such a bizarrely stupid plot device, and I have no idea what purpose it serves other than to ruin the character of Vector. Marsala Shah, I can't pronounce his name. This guy's a good actor, okay? And he should have been allowed to shine as the ruthless king of Iron City. He should have been the main villain of the movie.
Vector, you prick. I should have known. Well, you should have known, my friend, is that no one is greater than the game.
But making him into a weird brain slave completely strips him of his agency. It makes me feel bad for him. Like, I don't know if he's actually evil or he's just evil because he has a fucking chip in his brain. For all I know, he's only doing this because he knows if he doesn't, Nova's gonna fry his synapses. This is a terrible, terrible creative choice.
Well, that looks fatal.
But that's not even the main issue I have with Nova. What I really take issue with is that having him as this all-seeing puppet master kind of destroys the core theme of the original story. See, the original deals a lot with this idea of karma, the question of whether your struggle to survive is truly noble and good, or whether it's ultimately pointless, that no matter how much you struggle, the universe really doesn't give a shit. This theme plays out perfectly in the manga. We see Hugo broken, close to madness, climbing the supply tubes towards Zalem. He's just learned that his years of struggle, his desperate struggle to survive, has all been pointless. And so like a madman, he yells at the city like he's yelling at God, saying, "Look at me! Look at what I've given up! I've sacrificed everything! Why is my struggle not recognized and rewarded?" But then Alita shows up and tells him, "Hugo, your struggle is recognized by me. I see how hard you have struggled, and I am your reward. Your reward is love. I can't tell you whether or not God or the universe recognizes what you've been through, but I'm still here. I'm here for you, and I love you, and that's what matters." And in that brief moment, Hugo and the reader are given a reprieve. We believe that maybe there is such a thing as fate, that maybe good things come to good people, and then a giant metal ring cuts Hugo in half, and he falls to his death. And again, we're forced to wonder, did the struggle truly matter? Was all of Hugo's pain and suffering worth that one brief moment of happiness? And was all of this the result of fate, or was it the work of an uncaring universe that takes and gives without rhyme or reason? That's very poetic. But you know what would be better? If instead of posing a meaningful philosophical question for the audience, let's just answer the question. Is there a God? Yes. His name is Edward Norton, and he has a cool shiny computer where he can press 2 buttons and personally summon a giant death ring. And we know that God does this because he's a crazy scientist who thinks
The only way to enjoy immortality is to watch others die.
What the fuck? What? No! See, in the original, the giant death ring is an automated security system. Hugo basically dies to bad luck, not because of anyone's will. Making Nova directly responsible for Hugo's death I can't get over how ridiculous it is. I almost burst out laughing in the theater. Like, why even make Alita into a movie if you're gonna take the underpinning fucking moral of the whole thing and be like, nah, just throw it out. It's just about a girl who hates an evil man who lives in the sky. Rather than reflect on the cold, dark nature of the infinite, let's just watch this girl with a sword play future basketball so she can earn a golden ticket to go fight the evil Skyman. Why? This once beautiful and thought-provoking narrative has been reduced to action schlock. And I love entertaining action schlock, but it's still a bit disappointing. Anyway, even despite my multiple criticisms, I'm still happy we finally got a Battle Angel Alita movie. Though it might not have been the movie I wanted, it did help to introduce Alita to a whole new generation of fans. And I'm insanely happy to see one of the greatest manga series of all time finally getting the recognition it deserves. Also, they gave a kid new arms, so really, how mean can I be towards this movie? Look at that kid, she loves having arms again. If you're a fan of comics or manga and you haven't read Battle Angel Alita, I have to beg you, please check it out. There is a new deluxe box set which looks fantastic. They rescanned the original manga. All of the artwork looks incredible. That being said, the translation kind of leaves something to be desired. It's just a very stiff translation, very literal. There's a couple grammar errors that I'm not a big fan of. Oh, geez, come on. This is a simple thing with the apostrophe. How did you screw that up? That being said, if you can only get the deluxe edition, it's still good, but if you can get your hands on the original Viz release, or if you're good at using Google, hello, archive.org, why do you have, are you allowed to have this? Whatever. Go read it. It's fantastic. And maybe someday movie audiences will prove themselves ready for a full adaptation, one that truly digs into the source material and presents Alita in all of her beautiful R-rated glory. Probably not. I assume everyone will remain dumb and will keep making stupid movies, but yeah, I don't know. I can dream, right? In conclusion, much respect to everybody involved. Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron, and of course, Battle Angel Alita creator Yukito Kishiro. All three of you guys, kudos. Some of the greatest creators working today, and thank you for entertaining me. Anyway, I guess the only thing to do now is prepare for 4 more Avatar movies. Oh, God. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not seeing those movies sober. I'm going to show up to the theater absolutely avatared. Let's do this shit, Cameron. Avatar!
So, did you like my movie review? Okay, I'm done with this character. Thanks for watching. This makeup's very hot. This wig is a nightmare. I'm going to go take all this off. But I would really quick like to remind you guys that if you'd like to support my videos, please check out my Patreon. There's a link below. Right now, YouTube keeps demonetizing my videos because I make humor, which is a little too edgy. Even videos when I try to make something that I think is all ages, maybe PG-13 level of humor, like my DC Cinematic Universe review. No, it's demonetized. So in order for me to afford to keep making funny content like this, your guys, all my patrons, you guys really help me out. If you can kick me $1 a month, I really do appreciate it, and it really does help me make more content. Anyway, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll do a Joker review. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.